Hello everybody, Isaac24 here with a 2023 video of the Mistral GyroAire box fan. The last time I made a video of this fan was in 2020 when we moved into this house, and it has not been powered on or taken out of the box since then. Yes, I said the box. I happen to have the box for this fan. This is what it looks like. So, if you don't know what GyroAire is, made in USA, that's interesting, because I would imagine most people don't. What this is, so Mistral is an Australian company who was very popular in Australia in the 70s and 80s for making fans and heaters and stuff like that. Well, eventually they decided to bring some of their products to the US, namely this fan. Well, the reason why it's so special is these fans are extremely rare. And it's not just for the fact that they didn't sell a lot of them. They sold a crap ton of these things because it's a design that you don't really see in the US. Namely, stuff like the rotating louvers and the blades being in the back, stuff like that. The reason these fans became so infamous is because they are extremely flammable. What I mean by that is these fans had a tendency to burst into flames while just sitting there running. And there were numerous accounts of this happening, and I believe that there were multiple people killed because of this. They had a tendency to literally just be running and then all of a sudden, like that, explode into flames. And it's a combination of reasons why, but long story short, Mistral obviously issued a recall, and they recalled every single one of these fans that they sold in the US, and they were destroyed. Not thrown away, they were ordered to be destroyed so that nobody could use them again. And so because of that, very few of them still exist. And the chances of having one with the box, I would say I probably have 1 out of 5 of these left in the country that still have the box. Literally the only way that I think this fan escaped is it was probably in someone's basement for years. They forgot they had it and just forgot about it. I'm not going to say how much I paid for this fan in case I ever need to sell it for some reason, but it was there. It was nothing. It was essentially free, and I found it at a thrift store under a table. So, just to explain why these fans are so dangerous, for one, starting with, well, first of all, I'll just show it to you. There's the side, the back, and the other side. Very first reason why is the power cord. Here's the plug. This is lamp cord. Look how thin this cord is. This is literally lamp cord. So that's one reason. Number 2 is the material that these fans were made out of. This is all plastic, and it is all about the cheapest plastic you could get. You can tell by listening to it. I mean, yeah. And the third reason and final reason is this switch. This switch is a variable speed switch, meaning it is an adjustable speed slider. So here's high, and then you can go all the way down to off. Well, the reason why that's so dangerous is because the way that they designed the switch has a flaw in it. Even when this is on the off setting right now and plugged in, just like it is right now, this is not off. This is a stalled state. So the motor, when this fan is plugged in and off, just like it is at this moment, this motor is still receiving full power, but it's stalled. So as you can imagine, because the motor is constantly receiving input from a tiny little lamp cord, explode. And that was the reason why these caught on fire so much. In fact, if you take the switch out of this unit and look at it, there's a little resistor in there, and that's the resistor that is known to catch fire. And I've seen some of these switches get taken apart, and the resistor is black and charred. In other words, that fan was on its way to becoming a fireball. But anyway, first time turning it on since 2020, I'm just going to go straight to high. It does take a minute to warm up. And there it is on full speed. And of course, one of the signature things on this fan, although it kind of doesn't hold anymore, is the rotating grill. This is an Australian design, and the thinking was that if they slat the slats or tilt them at a certain angle, now the air's over here, now it's down here, and it's sort of like an oscillator. Although it doesn't really work. So now I'll slow it down to kind of a medium. I guess you could say that's kind of a medium speed. Now we'll go a little lower. And yeah, if you turn it slower, the grill rotates slower. Off. So now I'm going to see if I can show you here. Let me see if I can actually... I'm going to see if I can show you the switch as I'm doing it so you can see just how little input this takes. That's the lowest setting. So you can very easily see why this is a fire hazard. Not just because of it always being stalled like that, but because how is this good for the motor? Granted, most people probably just use it on high. But still, you can see why this is so dangerous. It's cool, but it's very dangerous. So, like I said, even when you turn the fan off, the motor is still receiving full input. It's basically cut enough power to where it can't run, because obviously when you do this, there it is. But it can't run because there's not enough power, but it can't stop because it's receiving full power. So the last thing I'm going to do is I will do a full, I will do a 0 to high as you saw, and I will do a spin down time, which isn't much, but here's high again. I guess I'll rotate the grill too. Oh, you can even hear it clicking. Here's off. Really not all that impressive. Now, the only true way to stop this thing from being a fire hazard is to unplug it from the wall. Now, this cord is not warm, but I can tell you there was one time when I first got this fan that I ran it on high speed for about 20 minutes in my supervision just because I wanted it to sort of work itself out, and the cord got hot. So, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. That's about all I have to say about it. Here's a look at it. It is model GA1670 from Anaheim, California. It's a shame that these are so rare because it's a cool design between the variable speed switch and the rotating grill and the size. But how can you argue with this? This is a horribly flawed design that should have never been sold. And they sold these in Australia too. They sold them in Australia slightly different variations, but with the same problem. The only difference was that in Australia, they also offered like a timer and some other things. This is more of a basic one. But either way, that is a 2023 Redux of probably the rarest fan. No, it is the rarest fan I own, and it's probably one of the rarest fans you could own. So that is it. The Mistral GyroAire model GA1670. World's most advanced full room fan. 16-inch box fan, aka the Fireball. So thank you for watching, and check me out on the web at isaac24.com.